This is a teenager named Lena. She's 16, loves iced coffee, and spends her allowance on snacks and online shopping. One day, her older cousin, Marcus, tells her something simple. Instead of spending all your money, why not let it work for you? Lena laughs. Money work for me. I barely make it to the end of the month. Marcus smiles and says, I know it sounds weird, but think of it like this. You're giving your money a tiny job, and if it does its job well, it come back with more friends, more money. Lena thinks, tiny money employees. Okay, this might be interesting. By the end of that year, Lena had invested just a little of her allowance, maybe the cost of 2 iced coffees a week. A few years later, she checked her account. Her tiny money employees had grown quietly like a little snowball rolling down a hill. And that, my friends, is how investing actually works. So let's slow down and see what investing really means, how your money can grow, and how you can start, even if you're just like Lena. Hi, and welcome back to Educational ASMR, where we learn something new, but in a calm way. Today, we're talking about something that sounds complicated, but really isn't: investing. Now, don't worry, I know the word investing can make you picture fancy men in suits yelling at screens, but no one is yelling here. We're gonna break it down slowly and make it all make sense. So, what is investing? In simple words, investing means using your money to make more money. You're giving your money a little job to go out there, work for you, and come back with some friends. There are many ways to invest: buying stocks, buying bonds, investing in real estate, or even investing in yourself. When you invest, you're saying, instead of spending this $10 on a random shirt, I'll forget about it in 2 months. I'll let it grow into something bigger, because while your t-shirt might fade, your money could compound. Let's say you invest $100 and your investment grows by 10% in a year. That's $10 earned, so you now have $110. Now here's where the magic happens. Next year, your 10% isn't just on your first $100, it's on the $110, so you earn 110 more. That's called compound interest, or the snowball effect of money. It's like rolling a tiny snowball down a hill. At first it's small, but if you keep it rolling and you don't stop it halfway to buy iced coffee, it grows into a giant snowball. That's how investing works over time. Small, consistent growth adds up. Now, most people invest through something called the stock market. Imagine it like a giant marketplace, but instead of fruits and vegetables, people buy and sell tiny pieces of companies. If you buy a stock in, say, Apple, you literally own a small part of Apple. Isn't that cool? If Apple's business grows, the value of your piece, your stock, usually grows too. If Apple makes bad decisions, your piece shrinks in value. So, it's kind of like having a friend who's great most of the time, but sometimes drops your phone in water. That's why investing is about patience and balance, not panic. saying time in the market beats timing the market. It means it's better to stay invested for years than to try to guess when prices will go up or down. Because let's be honest, if you could predict the market, you'd probably already be on a private island sipping smoothies and cocktails. But that is not the case. So instead, smart investors stay calm when prices fall because they know that the market moves in waves. It rises, it dips, and it rises again. If you panic sell every time there's a drop, you're basically selling your snowball halfway down the hill, and in the end, guess what? You won't have a snowman. So instead, just be patient, and even if the prices fall, stay in the market. Time in the market beats timing the market, so stay in the market so you and I both can have our own snowman. Let's make it real. Say you're 16 and you invest $50 a month. You earn around 8% a year on average, which is normal long-term growth. By the time you are 30, you'll have around $14,000, even though you only put in $8,500. That extra $5,600 came from your money working for you. Now imagine you start at 25 instead of 16. You'd have less than half of that by 30. And that's why people always say, even if it sounds cliche, start early. Because time is your biggest secret weapon. Don't be too scared to start, because at the beginning you know nothing, but you have to put yourself out there to actually learn. You can read a whole lot about it, you can watch this video, you can watch others' videos about how to invest. But when you truly learn is when you actually buy those stocks with your own money and learn to actually be patient and also know the feeling of when prices fall and when prices rise. And those feelings and those experiences can't be described with words and videos. And of course, investing isn't magic. You can lose money, especially if you invest without knowing what you're doing. So here are a few smart beginner tips and rules. Don't invest money you will need soon. Keep that for savings instead. If you know in the future that, yeah, I'm saving for an apartment, and you really have to get the apartment, then it's better for that money to stay in your savings, because that is emergency money. The money you use for investments are usually money you don't really need at the moment. Money you basically just put it back of your head. And secondly, diversify. Don't put all your eggs or your money in one company. You have to choose between a lot of different stocks and different markets especially. And I see many people say don't choose one stock. That is maybe pretty obvious, but also different markets. Don't just invest in the technology market. What if that one just surprisingly 1 year falls and just crashes? Then you at least maybe have the health sector. So also choose different topics or different areas of stocks. Moreover, be patient. Investing is a long-term game, not a get-rich-quick race as you may have seen in other YouTube videos. Short trading is another thing, but don't believe everything you see on social media. You have to be patient and actually wait. You won't get $1 million after the first stock you buy. That's just not reasonable. And the last one is learn before you leap. Like, I know I said you should really put yourself out there and get those experiences to actually learn. But of course, reading a little bit of it beforehand can also help you. For example, I think the Diversify tips is really good. And if I didn't read that in the book, The Psychology of Money, I think it was that book, I would probably maybe just invest my money in one stock. And that wouldn't be good if that stock just randomly one day crashed. Then my money would just be gone. But of course, don't wait too long. Don't think, oh, I need to read this many books, watch this many videos before I actually start to make my money work for me. No, read a little bit of it, Always try to get more knowledge, but also take action at the same time. And this is just the tips for all the books you ever read. Every tips you get from the non-fiction book, everything you learn, put it into action. Okay? Don't just take mental notes, actually do it. You could be reading 50 books a year, 10 books a month, but if you do nothing with the knowledge, it's basically saying that you have read 0 books. That's just a waste of time if you don't actually use it. So, to wrap it up, how does investing actually work? You give your money a purpose. You let the time and compounding do the heavy lifting. You stay calm when others panic. Hopefully one day many people will understand that panic selling isn't always the right thing to do. Sometimes you have to stay in the market. And the reason people panic is because the money they invested with is actually money they need, money they are scared to lose. I invest money I know I won't really need in the future. I see investing more as a game, like everything could happen, and it's a very thrilling game because I know deep in my heart that money is right now just there, it's just extra things I had that I could play with. I don't actually need it. If I have to pay rent, I will pay rent first. I wouldn't use that money to invest because I know that I need that money. Why would I put it into such a high risk? And one day you realize that your money will quietly grow while you're sleeping. And some days it won't. It's all about patience. But that's what true investing is. And true investing is also not really gambling. It's not luck. It's more patience, growth, and belief in the future. So, if you enjoyed this explanation about how investing actually works, please don't forget to like or subscribe. And if you have any ideas about what the next video is going to be about, please leave a comment and I will start working on it. And let your money rest and grow, and hopefully you will learn something from this video and also use it in your life, and hopefully it makes you